From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the hope. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stay, even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin.
You, my friend.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective and welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. We have quite a lot lined up to talk about, but they're not structured. It will be more of a free-form show, but still about Chelsea Football Club. We'll talk about Maxence Lacroix, Bruno Guimarães, Pep Chavarría, right? And who else? Am I missing? But quite a lot. And as the show progresses, if anything new emerges, be rest assured, this will be one of the first places you'd hear about them. And I am happy to let you know, because I always like for you guys to get diversified opinion. I already have my boy, my good friend, an OG here already in Tony Sewell. Tony, nice to see you once again. How have you been, man? It's been like, I'm not saying you're a vampire, but damn, it's been like 1,000 years. You know, we'll miss all the statistical calculations from you. How are you doing, Tony? Yeah, it looks like your mic is muted. All right, we're going to wait until Tony figure out his microphone. He's a bit rusty. That's what you get when you don't train. You ready, Tony? Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm rusty. Too much to go into here. It's been a long time, but I'm back, man, as much as I can be. So
Yeah, nice to have you back. What do you make of what's been going on in the market? What Chelsea have been doing since the transfer, the signing of what's his name, Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa, signing of Marco Palestra, and we're still negotiating for Pep Chavarría, and that's a chance we sign another marquee midfielder. I'm quite sure you're happy because you've been one of those complaining a lot.
I was toward the end. That's another reason too. While I dropped off, I was finally wading into the Blue Co out camp, you know, because I'm sure that there are people that are watching the stream or content creators, if they heard me say that, they'd probably be like, just now? This was the line? This was what got you there just now? But I don't know. I just like to give chances, and especially to football ownership, because it's like, I mean, look, when Roman left, how many years have we been doing this dance to get back to the you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what their model is. So from the outset, I said, I'll give you guys 3 years no matter what happens, right? And then when we won the Club World Cup, I thought, okay, well, you've bought a little more time. I'm buying in now. And then, I mean, last season just, oh my God, I mean.
And we didn't capitalize on that glorious moment, I must say. We were poor, didn't spend wisely. You could say we didn't spend strategically because we needed, you could argue, had we at least signed one experienced and good central defender, centre back, I think would be better off right now. But unfortunately, they made that mistake, and signs out they've learned from their mistakes, and that's what gives me hope, really.
Yeah, I hope. And yeah, just there's probably so much that I could talk about that you guys have covered this past season. Mm-hmm. So just to kind of fast track to now, because I'm sure, you know, everybody is aware of what's been going on. So, you know, there's, I hope it's water under the bridge now. I'd like for it to be. But, you know, I was like, I'm done, you know. And then when Xabi Alonso came in, like most people, I was like, hold on, what? And I know that there are still people, you know, content creators get it bad. That you know, from fans, they're like, oh yeah, I'm still not buying in. They got you, didn't they? You were so blue co out, and all it took was one good signing, and now you're back on board, you know. And there's some people that just refuse to, and I don't know if it's a pride thing because they don't want to, you know, say, okay, I've changed my mind, even though I said I wouldn't. I don't know what it is, but. I'm just honest, you know.
I mean, it'd be accurate to say for some people, it's become their brand. When things start going well, they find it difficult to accept, you know what, we're moving in the right direction right now, and I'd be better supporting my team wholeheartedly and not just try to maybe blow against the wind or something to that effect. But it's understandable. They gotta eat. If that's how they make a living, I'm not sure I can change them. I'm just happy the signs are good, and it only makes sense that they learn from their mistakes, because there's no way. I know some say they're just in it to make profit. You can't make that profit if you're not winning. It's a result-driven game. It's result is what drives profit in football. Result, if you're doing well, then you're able to attract big name sponsors and all that. If you're not doing well, you just cannot. They won't even listen to you because they want their name, their brand to be exposed to those that watch Champions League and not just the Premier League. So you have to be part of the biggest of competitions to attract big name sponsors. But Tony, always nice to have you back. We've done a lot of calculations without you. I'm not sure how well we did. Maybe you've been watching. You'll tell us whether we've been poor at doing statistical calculations.
Well, just to tie a ribbon on what I was going to say is just, you know, then when they finally started winning me back, you know, I was like, all right, Palestra, but, you know, he's good, and I hear great things, but, you know, I feel like you guys probably felt the same way, but, you know, I was like, he's young, and he's supposed to be really good, and he won Defender of the Year in Serie A. But, you know, with his age and outside of Serie A, relatively unknown to most in England, unless you're somebody that watches Serie A religiously or around the rest of the world. You know, that wasn't enough to bring me back, because I'm like, okay, yeah, but he still kind of fit in that old model with his age profile and not knowing a whole lot about him. But the fact that he won Defender of the Year in that league, that kind of, okay, well, you know.
And more importantly, the manager wants him. We have a manager now. We know,
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great point, because as soon as I heard, like, this is an Alonso signing, I was like, hold on. You know, and that was the first thing that got my attention. It wasn't that he was Defender of the Year. It was, okay, this kind of fits that model, but this was somebody that Alonso targeted. But still, I was so jaded. I was like, okay, but, you know, does he really have a say, or is this, they said, okay, you can get your man because this is also the profile that we want. So it was more of a collaboration rather than, hey, Xabi, you get to call some shots. But,
I mean, signs are for me, he has the final say, and that's huge for me.
Yeah, and when we started looking at Lacroix, and when we, obviously, I really wanted to join the day after we got Rodgers. I wanted to be on that stream with you guys so bad, and it was just didn't work out. But I don't need to rehash that. I know that everybody's gassed and they're over the moon.
No, but eventually you get the opportunity to let us know how you feel.
But I'm not fully back on board, but I'm like, oh my God, if you land the rest of your targets, I'm mostly back. And if I see, because actions are louder than words, right? If I see that you, with your actions, support, Alonso this season, and you know, even if he needs something in the winter market in January, and you still support him, like, you know, then I might buy back in. But I gotta be honest with you, the last thing I'll say, the last thing that'll bring me over the line is if Ekbali finally decides to get rid of the Chuckle Brothers. You know, if we can drop
you never know. The fact that he's been charged, the fact that he took charge of the negotiations for Morgan Rogers, and I'm hearing he's also the one handling the pursuit of Maxence Lacroix. I think a lot of Chelsea fans like that, and the moment we pulled, we got the deal, the Morgan Register deal across the line. Fans started going, "Oh, no wonder we got it done." Had it been the two Choco brothers, like you call them, would still be on it. Probably end up losing to Arsenal. But I'm gonna give the microphone to those in the chat. Come back to the panel because we have our senior panelists here in Bobby. Say hello to him, and then we'll go for news hunting and address the things we see there as we progress, and in the process we'll see things that were already discussed, and that you can, we'll get your opinion on those items. But more importantly, Tony, welcome back. Vic, thanks again for the gift. I appreciate you always looking out for your brother, or maybe you bribing me to start liking you, but I'll do my best to start liking you. All right, the truth. 888 said, big up to you too. Appreciate you. Lacroix is done. Crystal Palace just wanted to get a replacement before letting the player do medical to package of £62 million. Not bad. The market is inflated, so I'm not surprised if we pay that much for him. But let's see. I'm gonna wait to get that news from some of my most trusted sources. We are moving in the right direction, but it's still early days. Give the fans the time. I'm not forcing anybody to come across, you say, to leave the fence and be on any side. You stay where any place that's suitable for you until you feel comfortable enough going to any direction. That's you. I'm not going to decide for you. But I get what you're saying there. Give the fans the time, and Blue Coat needs to earn the trust. I agree. People are skeptical for a reason, and you could argue it's gotten to a point where for everyone, for Chelsea fans, they need to see to believe, and I don't blame them. But the signs are good. The mood has changed a bit to a positive direction, to, you can say, to a considerable extent, actually. Good to be back here after a very long time. That's Emmanuel Obedan. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Jay, who's also on the panel right now. Thank you for joining, Jay. And SOF Gamer, thank you for joining. Hello to you too. I appreciate you. Bobby, big up to you. Hello to you. And thank you for finding the time to be part of the conversation today, Bobby.
Yeah, big up, guys. What's up? What are we talking about today?
We haven't actually started, which is, you know, helping Tony level up, because he's not been around for a while, probably because he was, not happy with the way things were going at the time. And before I became a content creator, I was like that. Every time Chelsea start losing games, I would delete all the sports app on my devices so I don't get notifications. I'm serious.
No, I mean, look, I kind of got the tail end of that about buying in and all that. Look, definitely, when Blueco came, we all had this idea. Well, those of us that I believe were reasonable were like, okay, let's give them the opportunity to get their feet under the table. The whole purchase process was unusual, to put it mildly.
Hmm.
They weren't, nobody could be prepared to purchase such a massive institution in that way and in that manner and in that hurry. And so mistakes were going to be made. And I had a lot of elasticity of tolerance, to use a different, to coin a phrase. I had a lot of that, to have patience for them to get it right. Now, there were many things that happened up until the point in which we won the Club World Cup. I mean, people were upset with the whole Enrique manager situation. They went for Pochettino. Then Pochettino left after giving us a somewhat progressive season, I'll call it. Then they got Maresca. People weren't sure what to make of him, but he seemed to settle the young team and seemed to be able to mold the project to the point where we completed the set of European trophies, comfortably qualified for the Champions League,
And by the
and
way, not an easy feat.
and won the Club World Cup, which I know rival fans will try and denigrate it, but it further cemented the completion of our trophy cabinet. It got us to win the old Club World Cup and the new Club World Cup, and Chelsea were on a trajectory. All they needed to do was to properly plan the squad for the next season, and the rest could have been history. We could have been back on top. Now, we still had these stupid injury situations which plagued us for 3 years, but we had hoped that with careful planning, proper medical supervision of the players, and the purchase of the right players, we would have got over that hill. What did they do? They got arrogant. They felt that they knew everything. They ran into some stupid problems with Maresca. Maresca himself didn't crown himself in glory because he stabbed us in the back. And last season ended in a very horrible way. They brought in Rosinia, who was absolutely not good for the club. They snobbed bringing in someone like John Terry, even though it was a sinking ship, his reputation maybe would have seen us into Europe or maybe even the Champions League. Okay, we crashed basically. I joined the Blue Coat Out Brigade, even the protests. They needed to hear that the fans were not prepared to take any more of their BS, to be honest. They had dropped the ball, they had squandered money irresponsibly, and they were sending the club in a nosedive direction to next stop relegation. Now, they somewhere someone decided to try and change things around. The appointment of Xavi Alonso was a good sign, and of course now
A
this
lot of people didn't
movement.
believe it was gonna happen.
Well, we had all been traumatized by what had happened. We didn't believe anything anymore. But he appeared, and then the involvement, shall I say, of Egbali in the decisive purchase of Morgan Rogers. Although we have to take note that whenever we have spent over 100 million, he's always been the signator involved. But that was a good move, a move for the club, a move for the manager, and more especially a move for the fans. That is the one purchase that in a long, long time had got the entire Chelsea fan base, haters, detractors, and all on the same sing sheet and happy. Now, for me, my only interest is Chelsea Football Club. I can't sit here and say, oh, all is forgiven between me and Blueco. We're all, kumbaya in the hood. No, I'm still watching. But do I want to go out with a picket sign, Blueco out and that? No, I don't see the sense in it. They are quite clearly, or at least certain members of the ownership team, are quite clearly trying to make up for their sins. It's been an expensive sin, but they're trying to make up for it. They've done some clever business by the way of Rogers. They've got rid of Garnacho. They've got some compensation for the snake Maresca. I'm not happy with the Cucurella sale, but they've got some money for it, and maybe they
And he wanted
maybe
and he wanted to leave.
yeah, he wanted to leave, which is a very important thing. They brought in Palestra. Well, that's left to be seen exactly how effective he's going to be. But
Let me
there
become, let
has
me let me just chip in something quickly. Palestra is more technically gifted than Cucurella. Cucurella, as good as he
well,
was, remember I was one of
coach,
his biggest defenders. I
coach,
can
let's
tell,
not
but
get
listen, but I'm just reminding you, we'll talk about this maybe in a year's time.
exactly
Exactly.
because
That's how we operate
in
here. I just wanted
football,
to let you know. We'll look back and say, yeah, you say, coach, you were correct. My hands up, like you usually say, which is a good thing. You accept when you misjudge a player, and then if later on the player starts firing on all cylinder, you're usually the first to say, yeah, I was mistaken. I
of
know
course,
but go ahead. Yeah, we're just having a
of,
conversation here.
Of course, the taste of the pudding, the acid test to any player is what you do in the Premier League itself for the club. Even Garnacho, I was never for that deal, but I sat back, I said, okay, what's he going to do? Well, quite clearly, the rest is history. Naffle. and he's gone. But
And good luck to him, you know. Yeah.
well, he's gone. That's all I'll say about that. But Palestra, let's see. All I'm saying here is that there is a concerted effort to mend their ways. And so far as they mend their ways, so far as they do the right things by the club, steer the club back to its position of glory, which for 20 years Roman Abramovich, who himself made a number of mistakes, mind you, although a lot of mistakes were thrust upon him, but we won't go into that. But, for 20 years, he built a formidable team. He built the icing on the cake of one of English football's oldest institutions. I keep telling people who tell us, "Oh, we were founded in 1905." No, Chelsea Football Club was rebranded in 1905. Chelsea Football Club has existed from 1850. The Myers brothers owned it and it was called London Athletic. And at that time, it plied its trade under that, it played football under that name. In 1905, in the pub called the Butcher's Hook, there was a toss of a coin and heads landed on between the choice between Kensington FC and Chelsea Football Club, and they chose Chelsea. From that point, Chelsea Football Club was founded. So we have been an English footballing institution for about 176 years plus, thereabouts. So, people saying, oh, we were just founded, which is old enough, in 1905, really don't know the complete history of Chelsea. Another thing is that Stamford Bridge, which was a happenstance purchase for the Chelsea Football Club, remains still the oldest football ground in English top flight football. So we are an institution. And for somebody to buy that institution after Roman had taken it to the pinnacle of world football and to supervise it to the disintegration that these owners were taking it was absolutely not only unforgivable, I will call it a crime against English culture.
All right.
Fortunately, they're trying to rectify their stance, and I'm for that. If they get us back on the straight and narrow, I would say, well, all this is part and parcel of what had happened to us and
Mhm.
part and parcel of our story. So, before I shut up, the purchase of Morgan Rogers, it can't stop there, coach. We've
No,
got
they're
to
not. And
now.
they're not planning to stop there. And
Well, let's hope so,
Yeah.
because
Here's something
we
else I want to
saw
say
what they
quickly. Yeah.
did.
Go ahead.
We saw what they did after they won the Club World Cup. They took that prime position of being Club World Cup holders and being in the Champions League. They took it for granted and they did nothing in the summer. So
All
I
right.
don't want them to think that after now we've bought Morgan Rogers, that's it. We can play around with all the other purchases.
Mhm.
Lacroix and this candy they're throwing in our direction about this big marquee midfielder should be deals they need to conclude to give Xavi Alonso the tools to take us to the top, because next season we have to go for the Premier League. I don't want all this, oh, we finished 10th. Oh, let's just try and struggle into a Champions League position. Oh, we're still experimenting. No.
All right.
Unfortunately, it's pressure on Xavi, but no, we are Chelsea Football Club. It's been 4 years, going on 5 years. We have to go for the big prizes. That's what we're about.
All right, Bobby, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Before we have from Jay, I will give the microphone back to those in the chat here. Well, what they have to Jay, what they have to say. I can't speak. I'm sorry. And by the way, Tony started all this now. We were going to start the show peacefully. Tony started by ranting and then got Bobby wind up. Now he gave us some history. And of course, Bobby, we talked about doing the show on the history of the club so people can learn a lot. And I think we have to do that as soon as possible and not just talk about it
Anytime. I'm ready
and let it go.
anytime.
Yeah. It's important. It's important. But yeah, Tony, you're to
I know
blame.
you like the fight, don't you, Coach? That's what you like. Yeah.
What if we don't fight? What are we here for?
Yeah, why are you complaining? The
I'm not.
first thing I do when come back was give you what you want. Come on.
I am not complaining. All right, let's hear what they have to say. Mod Mana, okay, saying hello to SOF Gamer. Big up to you, Shea Wendy, my Ghanaian sister. Always nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for stopping by to say hi. I know probably you're still listening because every now and then you chip in some good questions. SOF Gaming says, Coach, I told you in a previous live that only time will tell us if we will get the right and good signing, and now we can say that Bluco is doing the right thing right now. I think I'd say the more generally acceptable way to phrase that would be the signs are good, because to some they still don't believe, that they've changed for good. But I strongly believe they've changed for good. You can say you don't get rich by throwing away the ones you have already. Signs are good, and which was why I told people I'd rather we keep the owners that have made mistakes with a strong belief, that they will learn from their mistakes and never repeat those mistakes in question. Because if you get another owner who haven't made the same mistakes, chances are another set of owners who you can say they've not been there, they've not made those mistakes, there are no lessons learned for them. They come in and would want to do things their own way, and then we could end up becoming worse. So you were seeing it now. We're better off keeping them, let them learn from their mistakes, and also not repeat those mistakes in the future. And I believe that would be the case. And so far, the more generally acceptable language or way to phrase it or to put it would be the signs are good. Then everybody will be on that page. Because some are still saying, all they're saying is absolute nonsense. But for me, I'm hopeful. At least we have a manager now. If we sign player A, B, C, D, it'd be because Xavi, he wants them, and yeah. So that's, by the way, thank you for that. And Vic says our problem was self-inflicted. I agree. They need to continue on this new trajectory for 2 seasons. You cannot trust them not to do something stupid again. We are not you, Coachila. Just go back to work. You're always here to attack me. I'm going to start by blocking you, taking that spot away from you. But Vic, it's all love, brother. Igbali and Xabi Alonso seem to be personally leading the transfers. Paul and Winston Lee are exclusively running the women's team this window, it seems. That might well be the case, but I'm loving it, really. Let's hope for the best. Let's see. Let's wait. Yes, Coach Cucurella was a one-dimensional left back. I loved him. I prefer them all over, over Ben Chilwell, because of that ability to find passing lanes where you don't know one existed. He has that. That's one thing. That was the reason why I picked him over Ben Chilwell. But I've always known he's limited. But still, he's an excellent defender because he has that erratic way of applying himself on the pitch. Erratic but effective way. He has that knack to unsettle even the best of the best players in world football. I give him that, but he's limited, if we're being honest. Stop defending the Blue Coat. I don't defend them, you know that, but you're here looking for my trouble. I'm gonna start by stop reading. I'm gonna stop reading your comment and then ban you. No brotherhood there. You don't know if they have changed for good. Only time will tell. As I've said, the signs are good. Bro, I'm from Uganda. Tell me about CFC transfer news. Sit back, relax, and pay attention. It's all about transfers today, but I cannot guarantee that that we're not gonna every now and then start talking about the situation or whether to trust or not to trust Blue Co. It's a certainty that eventually, every now and then, you hear us switch to talking about that. Okay. Anything else here? Jabalani Jamala says, shout out to you guys, shout out to you too, Blue Co family. Gentlemen, let's get Bruno Guimarães, Lacroix, and John Stones at all costs. I don't know about at all costs. Jay, you've heard the conversation. Tony started it all. Anything you want to add before we go news hunting?
Yeah, big up to you. Yeah, I just want to, I agree with everything that Bobby said.
Of
Absolutely. I
course, you
just want to
have to.
correct him on, right? No surprise, huh? But I just want to correct him on one thing. And as a respected and senior member of the panelists, I'm disappointed that he made this mistake. But I just want to correct him on the part where he said that, I mean, you can't say that. They did nothing in that window after the Club World Cup. They literally made us worse. They pushed us backward. So that's the correction I want to make.
I had high hopes this guy was going to say something nice. Just go ahead, Jay. Even Bobby would think you're coming at him.
Nah, he was perfect. Other than this thing, he was perfect. So yeah, nothing more to add.
All right, thank you so much, Tony. Anything else before we go news hunting? You're muted again, Tony. You're rusty. You see, that's what you get for not for not training.
I deserve it. No, I just wanted to talk about Win Stanley and Stewart real quick before we move on. I think that every big deal that we've, like you said, everything over 100 million, Iqbali's been involved, but he steps in and he gets things done. And these two guys always almost always seem to have trouble. Unless you look at a deal and you're like, oh, okay, that should be a home run, like, they always struggle. Like, I think they were on the Xhaka deal, and that didn't work out, but Iqbali steps into Rogers, it's done. He's apparently involved in the Lacroix deal, and we're hearing that's close. So, I don't know, man. When things get done with Iqbali and Xabi, I just think that if we start winning this year, I don't think they're going to let those two guys anywhere near the first team. And I just wanted to say, I was thinking about this a couple days ago. Everybody was outraged, rightfully so, that those two guys got a raise in salary last year. We're like, what? And I was just thinking about it. That kind of happened after the Club World Cup. I think they went and they were like, see, it's working. And then after this season, I honestly think that they're on thin ice, to be honest with you. So I don't know if they're going to be allowed to stick around the women's team or not. But, man, if we start winning and we're back to where we belong and those guys are gone, I'll probably be 100% back in. But I just want to say to your one commenter, that's what I addressed when I first got on, right? Like when people are saying, "Oh, they're pulling you back in," like we don't know. I think we all agree, like we're not going to be hoodwinked, right? Like we all want to see how the season's going to go. I want to make it clear to everybody. I think we all agree. All we're saying is, hey, these are steps in the correct direction. It should have happened 4 years ago, but you have to acknowledge, like, hey, these 2 steps or 3 steps or whatever are 5 to 10 times better than any steps we've seen in previous windows, barring like maybe, we lucked out with João Pedro and Cole Palmer. But you know what I mean? Like these are, and of course Enzo, but he was a lot of money, and Caicedo. But like for most of our business and the way that it's been, we're just saying, hey, these are steps in the right direction. And we are fans of our club, not the owners. So anything that's good for the club,
that part right there, Tony. We're fans of Chelsea, not the owners. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, that's all I had. I just wanted to talk on those 2 goons, but...
All right. No, I appreciate that.
While he keeps doing this, like, he might win me back. But look, guys, none of us are over the line yet. We're just saying, hey, better late than never. This is what we've been screaming for years. It's happening, but we're not going to be hoodwinked, okay? Like, these things we all collectively believe, I think, are good for the club, and that's why they are exciting us. We are not saying, hey, let's go grab a pint with Win Stanley and Stewart. Nobody's fully on board. I don't know why everybody's just so like extreme, like, oh, you're either in that tribe or you're in my tribe. Like, no, dude, like we are fair about this, and we don't quite believe in the ownership, just yet. But these are progressions in the direction that us, as well as the people, anybody saying, coach, like, oh, they got you now, like, they would have to admit to themselves that this direction is at least a direction that they would want to head in. But let's keep
Tony,
it
Tony,
right. We're not on board with the ownership
Tony,
yet. We're not hoodwinked.
Tony,
Yeah.
the level of excitement and euphoria that the Morgan Rogers deal was received by the fan base is a measure of relief. I
Yeah.
think not only were we all just stunned into absolute shock,
Yeah.
but we were relieved that it just seems that for once something sensible by way of purchase and the way we purchased it had come the way of the club.
And
Now that
who we
doesn't take away
bamboozled, and
from
who we bamboozled to make the purchase too. That's huge.
exactly,
Well,
and
yeah,
that doesn't take
the way that he
away
talked about Arsenal too was just the icing on the cake of that too.
exactly. Sometimes it's good. They've been slapping us up on the pitch so much. It's nice to give them a good slapping outside of the pitch.
Like I say, man, when you're big, you're big. That's what is it? Hashtag food chain. That's what
Exactly,
it is.
exactly.
You can win
It was
the league, but everybody knows deep down inside, and guys will say, well, I really want to go to Arsenal because they know the salary is going to be bigger because that's the way they operate. But everybody really knows who the biggest club in London is.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not having it until you win one Champions League. You don't
No,
get
two.
one
Two.
foot in
It has to be two. It has to be two.
Yeah.
Even when they win two, if we're still in two, then they have to win all club trophies they're
Exactly.
at
If
to
you
win.
wanna
Yeah.
use- you have to complete the set. But to
Yeah.
even be in that conversation, how about you win a Champions League? I'm not having it,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, Bobby,
the
go
last
ahead. You were saying something.
Hey, coach,
No,
I'm sorry.
I was just saying that in a way, the only thing that gave me some hope, because there are some silly people out there that, it's blue coat out and they can't see anything else but that. It just shows that ultimately the vast majority of Chelsea fans just want to see the club do well.
Yeah.
And that Morgan Rogers thing was an indicator of that. I mean, for the first time in a long time, we all stood together and we were all happy.
Yeah.
Now, let them not blow
I'm
it.
tired of stepping into the negative cesspit. Like, I just can't do it. It ruins my
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Just all the time.
Yeah,
Jay-
What I
there was
wanted to
no
say-
negative, even from the most negative content creators out there. They were either quiet or just quietly applauding the
Right.
Or
purchase.
maybe, yes, yeah, exactly. Or celebrating it.
Tried a lot of them. I'm just saying, like, I can't handle that much in one day. It's just the way I'm wired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
last thing I wanted to say, Coach, real quick, was just with that Morgan Rogers purchase. And I'm pretty. I mean, you guys are very sensible. I'm pretty sure you've already discussed this in my absence. But I just wanted to,
No, we were waiting. We're waiting for you to come back.
I wanted to throw my hat into the ring of just saying, like, if anybody out there, and here's what I'm really tired of, it's like, all these, not just Chelsea creators but I mean, not just rival content creators, but just people in the media, like, how stupid do you think we are? Of course we overpaid for Rodgers. We know that. We know that. It's what we had to do to get the guy we want. It's unfortunate, but this is the market that we are in.
Exactly.
We know he's not worth 117 million. We're not dumbasses.
Was Elliot Anderson worth 116?
That's what started all
Exactly.
this. When
Isaac, last transfer window.
That 150?
When Elliot Anderson
Yeah.
went to City, it sent the entire market into the tailspin because everybody in this wretched economy was like, oh, let's get on board with that. There's no way Tonali should be worth 100 million. There's no way Elliot Anderson should be worth 116. There's no way Rodgers should be 117. In a normal market, I would think you'd probably pay around 80 for him. But we know it's just the market we're in. And if you want to get business done and you want to do it quickly and decisively, We know it's a seller's market, and you want to gazump your rival to someone, then you got to
And
go
if you
in,
want to get the
just
best,
bite the bullet and do what's necessary. That's all I
yeah,
wanted to
Yeah.
say. But I just want everybody to be aware we're not dumb. We know he's not worth that. And no,
Yeah,
we
we
don't
yeah,
want
of
to do
course,
that.
yeah.
And it's easy to say, oh, it's not my money. I get it. That's okay. That's true. But that's an easy way out. The truth is like, yeah, it makes us cringe a little bit, quite a lot, maybe some of us. But it's just the situation we're in now. And I think even though the people on the outside are saying that because they don't like us and they're like anything, oh, look who you overpay, well, everybody's overpaying, okay? Everybody is overpaying right now. But for the fans, you know what? Even with the market, I'm okay with that because we needed that shot in the arm. We needed our ownership to say, yeah, we know it's not worth this, but you know what? We're gonna give you something finally, and no, I'm not like all in now, but that we just needed to see.
Stay on the fence, Tony. Stay
We're
on the fence.
capable of that still. We're still big. We still have pull. And when we have to splash cash because we have a need, because we're trying to be serious, we will do that. And I think, to Bobby's point, that was the other thing. It wasn't just the name of the player. The thing that brought us all on the same page and just made us happy and gave us that dopamine hit, that transfer dopamine hit that we loved, was not even just, oh, we've spent that much money, we're big. It was like, no, we're willing to do what's necessary even when it's hard. And I think that was a big part of it too. So
Yeah. Jay, I'm gonna come to you. Jay, you there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here.
I have a question for you. I don't know. Dave, is it Fallows or Fallows? Is it double R or
Carlos.
like
Fallows.
Fallows, right? What's his role in all
Yeah.
this thing? Because I think we started experiencing some serious changes the moment he was hired. And he was Liverpool's director, right?
Yeah, he came from some prominent role from the Liverpool
Okay.
hierarchy. That's all I know.
Remember, we heard also that he was instrumental in the hiring of Xabi Alonso, and he also did tell according to Jan, correct me if I'm wrong. If I don't know if any of you watch Jan, he did say something to the effect of him suggesting that we change the model and adapt. First of all, sign more defensively, more physical players that will easily adapt to the Premier League. Be more defensive a bit until things stabilize. Something to that effect. I can't quite remember. I think we're actually underrating his hiring. And it was since after his hiring, we started hearing less and less about the two Choco brothers, like Tony called them. Because I think, according to Dante did suggest that the plan will be eventually he will become the main guy, and then the other two, they will be dispatched for other roles, either Blue Co, one of them for the women's team. And we heard from one of the contributors in the chat there that they are mainly focused on the transfers of the women's side of the whole of the project. So I think we're taking his you can say his inclusion to the whole system. We're taking that for granted, but I don't think we should, because it looks like we heard he was instrumental in the hiring of Alonso, which means he'd be also the one advising them on what players to go for, or maybe just listen to the manager. We have a manager now, so it wouldn't make sense to argue that he suggests what players we should sign, but we need to understand things started changing the moment he was hired, and we started hearing less and less from the Choco or about the Choco brothers. But let's hear you, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, there is no, clear-cut public information on this whole change and who is actually driving all the transfers and what new things we are seeing. But I think after the protest and obviously after the bad things that we saw at the end of the season with Chelsea, uh, I think there was a clear demand for change from the fans, obviously, and that is why I praise the protest a lot. I admire everyone, every single fan who contributed and took part in the protest. For me, that was one of the biggest reason, if not the sole reason for the change, because I think it put a pressure on the owners for sure. I think they were in the background and they were seeing things, and I think after everything happened last season, I think they also accepted, there was acceptance in them also
Go ahead,
that
Jay. I'll be
something
back
needs
in a
to be
few
changed.
seconds.
Yeah, so something needs to be changed. That is the part I think that they all kind of accepted. And I think that was the main starting point for how things took a turn. And I think to hire Dave Fellows as the here, I think that was one part of the ownership. I think because uh, I think there was a clear sense of deterioration of trust in the two sporting directors, Vin Stanley and Stewart, from the owners. I think we can all sense it. And there are some reports right now, not from credible journalists, but there are a few reports that I'm seeing in which it has been mentioned that the owner Iqbali and Dave Fellows are the two main personnel who are driving the transfer window right now, and the two sporting directors, as you call them, the Chuckle brothers. I think they have been maybe given the women's. I'm not sure about the women's team duties, but I think they are doing few other stuff in the background. Yeah, I mean, Dave Fellows was hired by the owners because they definitely lost a bit of trust in the two sporting directors. And then I think Dave Fellows, obviously, with his experiences and whatever the conversation he had with the owners, and I think the trust as well from them, I think he was given the keys to drive a change in this model. And I think that is how he brought in Xabi Alonso, which obviously the owners also played a major role because a lot
No,
needs to be
they
changed.
did, but it's important. They have, you could say, an experienced head leading the process in
Yeah,
terms of advising them.
exactly. You need people who know the know-hows and who have lived it, experienced it at the bigger stages. And that is why I also have a feeling that we just because of the connection with Liverpool, their fellows have, I can feel that Edwards, who has been sacked by Liverpool, last month, I think if Winstanley and Stewart are to leave the club or are to be shifted to Strasbourg, I can sense Edwards to come to Chelsea as well because he is on a free right now. So things are happening. There are definitely changes. Who is the main personnel who is driving them? Obviously, all I can say is that the freedom have been given by the owners for sure. Because without them, I don't think anything could move. And yeah, again, we have to wait and watch how the window ends because right now we are seeing a lot of links, but all those links with transfers needs to happen. They need to be
But
finalized, and
wouldn't you
then
say
I
so
think at
far
the
the
end,
signs are good?
Absolutely. All the links have been quite different than what we used to see from the last transfer windows. There is definitely a change in the, signing young kids or young players policy. We are seeing more mature, more experienced players being linked, more, I don't want to say world class, but more ready made and who are performing at the bigger stages in the Premier League, who have done jobs for 1 or 2 seasons. For example, Morgan Rogers and even Lacroix as well. He has been very good as a defender in the last 2 seasons for Crystal Palace as well. So I think we can all sense there is a change of events and a change of direction. But again, it will be too quick to make any final conclusion. But things are looking so good so far.
Yeah, thank you so much for Jay. Anybody want to add to that? But I just thought I should bring that up. We must not overlook his importance in all these progress, or you could say change in the right direction that we're experiencing right now. I think he's not just there just to earn a huge paycheck. I think he's there to advise them, given his experience. And Jay, they might actually go for what's that former Liverpool sporting director that you mentioned, because we've always wanted him, but he wasn't available at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there has been attempts by the owners to hire him in the past. So now that he is free and now that we have his mate fellows at our club, then I think him coming here is a real possibility.
It is, because we want to hire the best. And yeah, absolutely, we don't care about the owners. Only what we care about is Chelsea. I agree. And we must. It's our responsibility to always be the 12th man whenever needed. Tony, you cannot blame the fans. That Arsenal winning the league parade gave all of us PTSD. It did. I didn't even watch it. they didn't win the Champions League. That was enough for me. I don't, I don't care really, but that's me. It's not the same for everybody. For me, them losing that final, that would have been a serious blow to me had they won against PSG. Good evening to you too, Munguru Ekraf. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, apologies. Even Santos is not worth 15 million on a normal market. How much has he played? Yeah, the market is there. It is what it is. David Fallows seems to be very instrumental. And if you look at the signing of Morgan Rogers, him and Joe Shields are in the picture. No Choco Brothers. So that's a huge sign. Yeah. Also, Michael Edwards will be available, if not available already. So let's keep an eye out on that one. And I'm happy. Again, I'm quite sure if he's available, they wouldn't mind. They will go for him if they can. If he's willing to work for us, because yeah, they always go for the best, irrespective of what you think of them. The future of England's attack, yep. Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer, I can see that, and that's huge advantage for England. Actually, both players playing together again. Good evening to you too, Masters Ibrahim. Nice to see you. Joining us from Facebook. I do hope you are doing well. Okay, anything important here? The total package here is worth about 50 million euros, and that is inclusive of both the loan fee and the conditional obligation to buy. Not bad. And actually, I have to say, this Aston Villa kit looks really, really nice on him. It fits him better than the blue kit. I'm serious. Maybe it's because of his complexion or anything, but yeah, we move on from that. So Liam told me an opinion there. No news there. I don't want to read that. I don't want to hear about Garnacho again. It's bye, Felicia, for me at this point. Chelsea beat Burnley 3-0 today in a Sorry?
I was just about to share that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but you can elaborate on that if you want to. Let me just read it. Chelsea beat Burnley 3-0 today in a behind closed doors friendly. João Pedro, Gittins, and Emera scored, and that's the second goal for Emera since coming. We heard there were reports suggesting he scored in the first closed door friendly. Go ahead, Tony, if you wanted to speak on that.
No, I don't have anything else. I was saying I was just about to share that, and then it was so because you brought it up, you must have read my mind.
Oh, okay.
I did have a question though, because not that friendlies mean a ton, but I think Jamie Gittins, he's not injured anymore, and can somebody clarify? Because I cannot remember, because we already had another friendly. And I forgot who. Crawley, maybe?
Crawley, yeah. Crawley.
Can somebody clarify, did Gittins score in that one as well? I thought...
No,
I think
it was...
he was out there. He scored. Reports suggest he scored
in
one.
Crawley,
But go ahead.
It was Omega, it was Delap, and maybe it was Gittins. I can't remember the third person.
I'm just saying, like, if we have Rogers over there, and then we also have Quenda, and then if because I think we might utilize him on the left too, and if we also somewhere over there, whatever formation Alonso plays, but if we have Gittins like firing now, God, like all we need from him now is just the courage to take his man on, because that's what he's known for, was ball dribbling, and it's like he got terrified coming to the Premier League and then he got injured. But if he starts taking his man on and scoring, that if we can get him firing, you're talking about. We are stacked on both sides if he's coming on. But anyway, just something I noticed. I was going to ask. I thought he scored in both of those now, and I think and we said Omega scored against Crawley too, or no?
It was Omega scored.
He scored the second goal.
Okay.
And
I don't know. I don't know about Gittins. I saw him last year playing in the friendly against AC Milan, and from there on in, he was like Bambi on ice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's toughened up. Maybe he's bulked up. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
But you're willing to see him more because we have depth on that side, so you're willing to give him time. I think he will come good. He's bulked up a bit. He's added a little more meat. if that makes you happy. I think what I experienced from Gittins, it was like the pressure of playing for a big club as Chelsea got to him. He was actually sweating. A close shot of him on the pitch did show that he was sweating quite a lot. So for me, a bit of maybe you said the pressure, the weight got to him because I knew him before we signed him, and I was happy we were going to sign him even over Nico Williams. And he had his output at the time in terms of completed dribbles. He was way ahead of him. But the only thing I was asking for him to improve, he can create, but he doesn't create consistently. He almost always goes to tries to score rather than create for his teammates. But I think as he matures, he will his application on the pitch will be balanced. A bit of creating. He creates for his teammates when needed, but scores only when it's clear that he's the better position than any other person or any of his teammates on the pitch. He will come good. He's a kid, and it's not the same for everybody. Some kids are born with that monster mentality. Then even at 18, they're able to play amongst those in their late 20s and still not feel not look out of place. But I hope to see an improved Gittins this season. His numbers actually weren't that bad. He had injuries too, and a setback. He had an injury, and when he came back, I think he suffered a setback and didn't play that much. But if you compare, once again, I'm just trying to be objective here. The ratio of the goals, I think how many goals and assists that he finished the season with to the number of games he played, not bad. It's not the best. It's not the worst either. It's just there. So I'm willing to give him more time, and I'm confident he will come good. Go ahead, if you're Tony.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just want to be clear that like we never know the effect that a new manager is going to have on all players or even certain players, and so we have to leave room for the Xabi Alonso effect as well. Like we can look at last year and say, I'm worried. Okay, I'm going to leave Delap out of this conversation because like I'm totally done, and it's probably me being mean, but like I've seen enough. Like I don't know that any coach for us is gonna fix that, but seriously, for all these players, we don't know what kind of effect Alonso's gonna have on him. I mean, and on them. And you were talking about mentality monsters. We know where that quote came from. Like that's what he wants. So, like, God, I don't care who it is. As many of these guys as he can turn, if he wants them, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Since he's come here, things have been happening, and we all know his pedigree. Nobody's got to question what his mentality's like. He's a serial winner, and so, like, if he can come in here and make monsters out of the entire squad, I mean, I think we're all for that, and. I know this is pretty cliche, but for me, as many players as he can do that with, or ones that did well last year, like João Pedro, if he even levels him up, I mean, like, these will all feel like new signings, will they not? I mean, it's almost like a lot of these guys could very well be reborn under him. I'm just excited to see, on top of everything else we've talked about for this season, I'm excited to see what he can do with who. I think that's really exciting for me.
All right, thank you so much for that, Gittins. And here we have says Gittins scored in both friendlies so far. Okay, 2 goals. And like Tony said, let's leave it up to the manager. He decides. I mean, if he sees enough before the season starts and he feels like, yeah, it's not good enough for him, we'll start looking for a solution for him. Find a club for him. But I think he stays because he's such a talent. If he doesn't do well enough next season, he's an asset. We'll sell him, make a lot of money, sign up players that will be suitable to what the manager, that will fit what the manager wants to do. Gittins and Emera 2-2. Good for them. And Vic is saying, why are we after Karim Alabegovic if Gittins will get more playing time? That's an Alonso target, by the way, and that's a clear point you're making there. We can have them. We can have all of them. We still have cup games. Maybe that you could say as the season progresses, we will learn whether Gittins stays the season after or whether he leaves. Clubs do that all the time. Even if the manager prefers playing Alabegovic over Gittins, and knows, okay, you know what, we still have two domestic competitions to play. We use Gittins in those competitions, and if anything happens to Alabegovic, Gittins comes in and continues playing. If at the end of the season he wants to leave, you let him go. You just don't want to risk a situation where you have a thin squad. If something happens to one of your players, you suffer. We've been there. That happened to us under Enzo Maresca because he didn't succeed in creating a healthy competition between João Felix and Cole Palmer. So by the time Cole Palmer got injured, we didn't have João Felix, who was the closest to him in terms of overall ability. So yeah, I wouldn't mind both staying. It doesn't bother me whether he gets to play enough or not. If he's
I
that
think
good, if it's that good, if the opportunity, or if the manager sees an opportunity, he'll fuel them, and you never know. Go ahead, Jay. You were saying something.
I think this Karim Albegovic signing is more, alarm bells for Neto rather than Gittins. Gittins obviously would have an impact. I think, as you said, it's more next season. I think there will be a decision to make. Obviously, it will be an open field, and both of them need to perform, and then the decision will be much more easier. But for this season, I think it rings alarm bells more on Neto's future rather than Gittins,
And a
and
lot of
I do
people
believe
believe
that.
that's the case.
Yeah, 100%. And there is interest in Neto as well from quite a few clubs from Premier League and outside as well. The reports that I have seen. So, and he's a good player. Karim is a good player. I never doubted, and I've seen a few videos and clips of him on eyes as well. He looks really
Did
good.
you watch him
The
at the
problem
World
was all.
Cup? I think he won one Player
I,
of the Match award.
I saw his performance in that one game where he scored that banger. Highlights of that game. He was good, and I believe that was the game where he won the Player of the Match award as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, there is a clear intention from Xabi. You can see it. He is also more of an inside player. Could be deputy to Morgan Rogers. They can play both on that left half space, and he's a good player as well. Can shoot really well outside the box as well, which I think even with the Morgan Rogers signing, the intention is that they want players who can take more shots from outside the box and hence create possibilities of goals from all around the pitch.
We currently
Uh,
don't have too many of those.
no, we have Enzo Fernandez, who is just more on the goalkeeper's hand, more shots in slow motion, which never goes in the net. So we need players who are actually expert in taking long shots because we had legends like Lampard who were expert in doing such things. So yeah, we need to bring those players back. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how the Neto development goes on from now to the end of the.
Yeah, did we lose you, Jay, or you're done speaking?
No, I was done.
Okay, so Labergovic for me, bring him. He's an excellent player, a good dribbler, create space for himself. I think that's a sort of if we have plenty of those that profile, then dealing with teams that defend deep wouldn't be much of an issue for us. And Labergovic, he's capable of creating space for himself. If you like pack the odd box with the entire 11, he still creates space for himself. He's very capable. If we get strong goalkeeper like Diogo Costa, that will be the icing on the cake. I'm not sure whether we're looking to sign another goalkeeper, but we'll see. Xavi likes a functional players that can interchange. Lavegovic is a pocket player, so is progress, so is Palmer, so is Rogers, so to speak, so is Palmer. They can all interchange fluidly in attack. No more back passes, I hope. So that's an excellent point there, and I like that. Long time, Lasu Akanmi Amo, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. It's been a minute. Yeah, I'm guessing your absence simply means you've been busy with work, and if that's the case, we're happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. If Alonso wants him, just get him. I think we're working on it because we were hearing that he was on the verge of joining. Was it Atalanta? But everything was put on hold the moment he got a call from Xabi Alonso. I'm not quite sure how that transpired, but something to that effect. Tony, anything you want to add? He says, that's a delicious comment, like Coachila would say. I agree. Excellent. It reflects it reflects that truth. It reflects his football knowledge. His football knowledge is excellent. I haven't known him for a long time. I don't know. I think this might actually be his first time here, but that reflects his football knowledge. And yeah, it does seem like he has excellent football knowledge. A delicious comment indeed. Tony, anything else you want to add to that before we go news hunting? I think we've started already, but we just had to discuss the item before us.
Yeah, I just was gonna say. For me personally, kind of a metric I'm using to see if they're really gonna really gonna put the money where their mouth is and back Xabi Alonso. Yes, it looks like they are. We get that, but for me, I think if we get to if we get to the end of the summer and we hear about guys that are going to be loaned or sold that we hadn't heard about before, I think that would be a good, because then that means he took the whole preseason. He said, I know you don't like this guy. You like this guy, but he's not going to do it for me. That would be, because then if we're looking at selling guys we haven't heard of, or we know that there's like an untouchable list, I know, but just guys that haven't been in the news, like, oh, I didn't know we were going to get rid of him. Well, that would be,
Bobby, can you take over from Tony when he's done? Just give me a few seconds.
Yeah, I think that would be a good sign of us backing him. But I just want to be clear, too. The last thing I'll say is, when we get to the end of this season, however it turns out, God willing, no disasters this year. It doesn't look like it, but hopefully not. If we decide to keep people that we thought were fringe or expendable because Alonso likes them, there's nothing wrong with that either, because that's a sign of backing the manager as well. And also, if we do well and we better and qualify for Champions League, it's not just being too thin for this year because we still have cup games. We have to think, the more guys that kick on for Alonso, the more players that do that we didn't see it coming, and we already have them. That's a good thing, because hopefully we, after a successful season, we will have hopefully a lot of extra competitions next year. So we will need that depth. And if they kick on for him and they're doing well in the position he wants them to play in, then that's less people we have to go out and buy. So everybody should be rooting for that. And that's all I had.
All right, thank you, Tony. What we have on the screen here, I'm happy. It says that Chelsea have agreed to sign USA talented winger Benji Flowers for their academy. Here we go. CFC agreed all terms with Flowers to join from Dallas FC as soon as he turns 18 from my state. So I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's see how it goes. Okay. It looks a bit like Nathan Aki or who, but yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, these are is of interest to me because it suggests Crystal Palace are looking for a replacement for Maxence. Is it Maxence or Maxence? But Lacroix, more importantly, with Maxence Lacroix heading to Chelsea, Crystal Palace are preparing for his eventual departure. The London club, managed by Pierre Sage, is particularly interested in central defender Christian Matsima. Okay, so the most important thing to take from that particular report is that they're looking for a replacement, which suggests that Maxence Lacroix to Chelsea is, you could say, imminent. Let's see. Let's just back our coach and still isn't a bad player and an upgrade for Andrea Santos. And who is in the back play? Who in particular? And that's from Marlon Davies. But nice to see you, Mr. Marlon. Thank you for joining. Gusto, Nato, and Gittins might be heading out. Just saying, it's a possibility. You can't say. The window doesn't close until September. So anything can still change. All right. I'm gonna say this once again. Garnacho looks really, really good on the when he has the Aston Villa kit on. It does look good on him. Anything Thomas Tuchel has lost his entire hair since becoming the England manager. Garnacho, good luck to him. It didn't work out at Chelsea. No attitude issue. Worked actually harder than usual. We learned. Stays back and comes early. He was actually eager to make it at Chelsea, but for some reason it didn't work for him. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, Jamie Gittins. I don't want to read that one. I've read that one already. Funny comment from him. Still sounds like a kid. Nicholas Jackson still on break and is playing football. One on a muddy ground, the other one on grass in Senegal. Doing some good work, sharing bags of rice to the villagers there. Not easy. He does that every time he travels to Senegal. Let's see. Modmana. Okay. We cannot afford to buy Bruno Guimarães unless we exchange a player and add money due to FFP. Heromo. Let's see what happens. A lot of people think maybe he's going to be the one, but we will discuss and try to come to a sensible conclusion whether it be him or not. Good news here. I heard, I think it was yesterday, I read something that suggests he wasn't open to joining, was it Aston Villa or Crystal Palace? He's been picky, which was why he was added to the bomb squad. But I think he must have learned his lessons now. Says Crystal Palace are in talks over a year-long loan deal for Chelsea centre-back Axel Disasi as they prepare for Maxence Lacroix to head to Stamford Bridge. So it could be him, it could be the other guy, Matsima, that we addressed. I hope he leaves, and I don't think would send him on a dry loan. I think it'd be with an obligation for a prominent purchase. We don't want to risk him running down his contract just like what's his name, former Englishman of Jamaican descent in Raheem Sterling. Play us the way Raheem Sterling plays and end up getting tons of money and tons of money pay off and leaving us. I don't want that to happen. We cannot afford Bruno Guimarães. Anybody on the panel want to speak about the Axel Disasi situation? Are we good?
Well, I was just going to say, not that I'm any expert in this, but I've been hearing a lot about some of the rules around this. I mean, it's pretty clear that at least certainly with with Crystal Palace and especially with Villa, like we're scratching each other's backs to find these loopholes, right? So when you see a guy go one way and a guy go the other way, you got to be careful because we can't just like do these swap deals really, from my understanding. So if we do a loan, like it can't be like, oh, he has to show up one time, he has to play one time, something that's like definitively attainable. It has to be something that has to be worked towards. So I was just gonna, for anybody that didn't know, the club are trying to be careful here. We get one, they get one. It can't be looking like a full-on swap deal, but the way you get around it legally is you do a loan, but we want to get rid of them, so we have to say option to buy. But they're not stupid, so the other rule is like, well, you can't just give an option to buy with a ridiculously attainable stipulation. So, but we also don't want it to be so unattainable that it doesn't happen. So the club are walking this tightrope where when they loan these guys with an obligation, it has to be somewhere in the middle. So like, if he gets 20 appearances for you and scores he's a defender, so he gets 20 apperances for you.
He does get goals,
like 2 clean sheets or something, then it's an obligation, so that way, the powers that be can't look at it and say, oh, well, obviously that was going to happen, but we don't have to look at it and say that's ridiculously unattainable. So just for those that don't know, we have to be careful with this, but if we do it that way, we stay within the rules, we get the guy we want, they get the guy they want, right? And we're able to offload that player as well. So
Yeah, thank you for that. Anybody else on the panel want to add to that? Jay, you or Bobby, you want to add to that?
Hopefully it's a permanent, even if it's a loan deal. I mean, which it has to be because of if we sign Lacroix, then hopefully it's a loan deal with obligation. I just don't want this guy to come back next season. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, if he does, he will eventually cost us money.
they won't let it happen. They'll send him
Yeah.
somewhere.
But is Bobby not on the panel currently? Probably taking a break as usual. Jay, let's talk about the possibility of Chelsea signing Bruno Guimarães. Do you see that happening? Do you think it will never happen? Let's say you, Jay.
Um, Again, look, no credible sources have come out and reported it. Only the ones who are trying to become journalists or ITKs, so-called ITKs. Only they are the ones who are mentioning it, and even they are very much ambiguous about it. So not really sure about the credibility of this, but there are some words going on for sure. Now let's assume that this is a possibility. I would absolutely love him. You know my stance. If there's any midfielder that I want to, purchase or want him to come to Chelsea, then that is Bruno Guimarães. I think he fits that pivot perfectly. I don't think any other guy could really help Caicedo, and in a partnership more than Bruno Guimarães. Yes, Chouameni is another one. By these examples, I mean a six, more of a six who's defensive minded. These are the guys who can play the Xhaka role very well. We tried to have Xhaka as well, so that gives me a bit of optimism that yes, they want that kind of a profile, and Bruno Guimarães is quite similar to how Granit Xhaka likes to play as well. So that gives me the hope that yes, this could be a possibility. Now, obviously, we are fighting against Arsenal, who are well and truly in this deal. I think they have been exploring this deal for almost a month now. It's quite similar to how they were planning and doing it for Morgan Rogers. But now this one will be more difficult because you can imagine the crash out and the negative PR if we get Bruno as well in the same way we got Rogers from Arsenal. It's going to cause chaos. People will be on roads as well. I think they will ask for the resignation of the new ST. I think it's Berta, right, from Arsenal. So it's going to be very chaotic, and hence it's a more harder deal. I can speak about the profile for us. That's how much I rate him. That's how much I think he will be good for us. But for the deal to happen, obviously Newcastle have a price. They are asking for something around 85 million pounds, and Arsenal are not going close to that. They have started with around 60, and now they have increased it to around 70. And even that 70 is with add-ons, right? They are not. That is not a fixed fee. So they have been very penny pinching, and they are doing kind of similar negotiations in what they were doing with Rogers. They have a very clear mindset in transfer windows. They do not want to overpay. I find it funny because when it's time to deal with Chelsea, with guys like Havertz and Noni, they don't hesitate to put money. But in this transfer window, they have been somewhat reluctant to pay over the odds. But they have to, again, I don't want to speak for them, but they are missing the point. The window is like that, the market is like that. You cannot control it.
You
You have to
sound
pay.
as if you're certain that the mystery midfielder, the marquee midfielder that we've been told to look out for, you sound like you're certain that it is Gumieres.
I'm not sure about it, and more than credibility, this is my hope. And as Fabrizio mentioned it, it's going to be a bomba. It's going to be some mystery midfielder who's going to be really important. Only two guys comes to my mind. That is Bruno G, and other one is Adam Wharton. These are the two really high-profile midfielder that is employed in the league, and only they can make the headlines. I don't think Alex Scott would fit in the category or as as it is hyped by Fabrizio. So, but again, we have to pay it. Again, from what I have heard from not so credible sources, the Chelsea are prepared to pay what Newcastle are demanding, but the player's preference is Arsenal. He wants to go there, and hence he is waiting. But he has not closed the doors for any other team, including Chelsea. So if Arsenal failed to reach that price tag, then Chelsea will come in and maybe we can get the deal done. But we are just waiting so we can, hear the stance of Arsenal. In any ways, even if we don't get Bruno G, I'm pretty sure we are going to make Arsenal pay over the odds for him. They have to pay 85 million to get Bruno G. So in some way, we are going to win, uh, you know. But I hope we can get this deal done because you know my views on him. He's so perfect for what we want to build.
All right, thank you so much for that. This reads that the Sissi deal has put a smile on me. It works for both Chelsea and the Sissi himself. Hopefully, he doesn't have an ulterior motive to come back and later on force us to pay him off. Big up to you too, Jojo. Nice to see you. And panel, God bless you. God bless you too. And thank you. I appreciate that. Conditional option to buy. Oh, okay. Again. All right, let's see. Newcastle want 85 million minimum for Bruno Guimarães. Okay, a double pivot of Caicedo and Bruno will be nasty, in a good way. I understand. It will be Wharton, Bruno, or Alex Scott. But Scott is not a bomber. That doesn't count for me as bomber. Still raw
And just to
for me. But Tony,
coach,
go ahead.
just to add quickly, I'll finish this. Just to add to the Bruno GD, there are some fans, and some really reputed fans as well, some reputed accounts as well, questioning that 85. Obviously, every deal in this window is going to be, inflated. Just to make it, your part of your understanding that every deal is going to be 20 or 30 million over the odds. No player is going for the value that it deserves to be. So yeah, that's that. And the other part, people are questioning, he's 28 and he's going to be 29 in October or November. So is it really valuable to pay that sort of amount for a guy who's going to turn 29 this season? You have to forget
Yeah.
this thinking. If we are to reach the epitome or to the levels that where Chelsea used to belong, we have to get guys and signings like this. 29 is not bad for a midfielder, and especially the profile that he is. 29 will still give you 5 to 6 top seasons. In 5, 6 seasons, you can win a lot of majors, and that will be worth it. And that is what I'm trying to understand. You cannot always look for guys in the bracket of 25 or 24 who can give you a lot of years as well, and for whom you can pay over the odds as well. There are very few signings, who can be around 25 and who are still in their prime or who are, performing at the highest level. There are very few of them. It's always 28, 27, or 29. It's where all the players hit their prime. So we have to remove this mentality that you cannot pay over the odds for guys over the age of 28. You have to remove it. Otherwise, we will never reach the levels that we are, deserve to be reached as a club.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I agree. And I see my bro in the house. He deserves some fireworks here. Hello, BJ. Always nice to see you. Been a while. I hope you're doing good. I am fine. Any day above ground is a good day, and I hope it's the same for you. I appreciate you finding the time to stop by to say hello, even though I know you're very, very busy. But you deserve some fireworks, BJ. Always nice to see you. An OG here and a friend. We have a lot of plans in place. But yeah, maybe let's see. We should be able to, you could say, give those plans of ours some life. Come the 26-27 season. But yeah, we need to talk. Always nice to see you, my bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, Tony. Anything else you want to say? Bruno Guimarães, do you think he's the guy, the mystery midfielder, the bomber we should be expecting?
I mean, it looks like that, but I don't know. I just it's so complicated. When I say this, I don't want anybody to think that I mean this is a definitive like for like swap or whatever. But I think if Guimaraes comes in, then that allows Caicedo, right, to go forward a little bit more, be a little bit. He doesn't have to do all the defensive responsibilities, right? And he can.
And can I say this quickly? I've listened to you and Jay. I trust Caicedo to be the one to show that defensive line
No, he can.
Why Bruno Guimarães I'm just saying, takes up the hybrid of 8 and 6 role for me. Because
Right.
I think he's more equipped than Caicedo in terms of
Uh,
scoring goals and creating for his teammates. And that's just an opinion, even though I think off the bat, I'd say that's the case. But go
I
ahead.
just think they both have uh, defensive qualities together that allows the other one at the same time not to feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Because, Enzo's a fantastic player, but I think we all know his defensive attributes are nowhere near Caicedo and Guimaraes, right? So you put those two side by side, and they both equal like an equilibrium of them kind of both collectively takes the defensive pressure off the other one because you're bolstering defense in the midfield when you have both of those together. To get Wharton, I don't know. I think just personally, I think Enzo has to leave for that to happen. Um, but yeah, and the only other thing I was gonna say, yeah, so that's what I think about them. As far as the Bomba, it could be either one, but I think I don't know personally. I think Enzo has to go if we're gonna get Wharton. But we're hearing more noise around Guimaraes right now, and I think that with the although failed move for Xhaka, I think it shows that we're not afraid this year to go after players over 30, right? So it could very well be Guimaraes. I don't know, but I think if Enzo goes, I think when that happens, I think you definitely see a stronger pivot toward Warden. And that's what I think about that. The only other thing I was going to share, Coach, is that maybe you saw this because it's an hour ago now, so apologies if it's repetitive. Chelsea Dodgers posted on X, interesting, in the friendly win over Bromley, Xabi's formation was a 4-2-3-1 again. So we all are
4-2-3-1.
yeah, so we're all looking at his signings and we are saying, hey, this is shaping around a 3-4-2-1, and I think he will use that quite a bit.
Okay.
But given the personnel that's available and who's still on holiday from the World Cup, this is a great time for him to try personnel that he thinks will fit it and out of who's available and see how that 4-2-3-1 works in preseason. So I'm just saying the fact that he's worked that out twice, I think that's a sign that that could be a second formation that we're seeing this coming year too. But interesting that he's used it for 2 friendlies in a row now. Just wanted to throw that out there for news.
All right, thank you so much for that. Before I go to Bobby to hear his opinion on who he thinks is the mystery midfielder that we should be expecting, that will be a bomber, whatever that means. But yeah, I get it. Apparently, Bournemouth wants £95 million for Alex Scott. They can keep him. That's how messed up the transfer window has become. I don't think we'll pay anything north of £17 million. I don't think so. Yeah. Bruno Guimarães dual starts on that great, which is why I said if he comes, Caicedo will still remain the one charged with the responsibility of shielding our defensive line, while Bruno takes on the role of the hybrid 8 and 6, because he's more equipped in terms of creating for his teammates. And off the bat, I would say I haven't actually compared their starts from that perspective to say definitely that's the case. But from what I know so far, maybe because we've always deployed Caicedo deep to protect the defensive line. But Guimaraes, for me, I think will take on, it's just an opinion anyway, that more of the hybrid of 8 and 6 role. But I see Bruno, yeah, I agree, which is why I said that.
Either way, it's going to be more defensive reinforcements than we would have with just Caicedo and Enzo.
I agree. Bobby, let's hear you've heard that we should be expecting another marquee midfield signing. Bomber is the word Tom used to just, you can say, to explain that. Who do you think it is, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean Fabrizio was saying that, wasn't he? That Chelsea's
Not just
working
him, not just
on
him.
the midfield bomber.
Mm.
Look, it's an interesting one, honestly. I'm bemused by it. There are all sorts of permutations. There's nothing that's been said here that is not appealing. But from my deductions, yes, Guimaraes could be a good purchase for Chelsea. He'll certainly be functional. He's certainly got the experience and the capability to fit in. The Enzo Fernandez conundrum remains, and there needs to be clarity as to his future. He needs to, come out and say, look, I've messed up. I just need to settle down and knuckle down with Chelsea, which is possible with him. You know what he's like. Or, he's out of here and then we make a move for somebody else. I don't know. I don't know. There's talk that the Adam Wharton thing, we spoke about this yesterday, is
And
a
I
real.
like him. I like Watson.
Yeah, I like him. He would always be my preference. It's a real thing, and that the only sort of reason it's not being the needle isn't being shifted for him is because if he comes, then Enzo would definitely need to go. Okay, that's a school of thought. Then we all know that Chelsea have had a £64 million bid for Alex Scott rejected. Okay. Um, am I overexcited about Alex Scott? Not particularly. I've had a look at him a bit more since we've been linked with him. Okay, I just nod my head, but they're looking for, is it 95 million? I don't think we're interested in paying that. I'm pretty sure Arsenal's not interested in paying that, or Man United. And I think what they're trying to do is, make a ploy. I don't think they're keen on selling him. They're trying to make a ploy to get it to the end of the transfer market where they will give him another contract with a bit of more money and put a release clause. I don't know. He's pushing to leave. He said that he's very open to coming to Chelsea. I don't know. Then there have been links with a Camavinga link. Since all this Rodri stuff has been kicking off, Rodri is a giant of a player, is a remarkable player. He would shift the needle with any team he goes into, and he
More
wants to
importantly,
return.
Bobby, every time you say that, let me remind you again. More importantly, he has to be the most intelligent midfielder in the whole world.
Yeah, I mean Rodri is good. Although having said that, we always knew how to contain him a little bit at Chelsea. I'm telling you,
Only
even
Kante did.
not necessarily. Every time our youngsters have played him, he hasn't always ripped up trees. I remember the 3-3, or was it
But let's
4-4
not take it away
we
from him,
played?
Bobby. Give it to him.
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
yeah,
Bobby.
he's the flowers are his. He's a giant of a player. He is. I'm a Rodri fan. I always have been. He's the stature of midfielder I go for anyway. And he's a magnificent player. But he wants to go home now. He wants to go back to Spain. He wants to go to Madrid as one last hurrah in a very, very glittering career.
And with the
It'll
signing of Anderson, I think that's most likely going to happen.
Yeah, I mean Anderson is there fail safe for Rodri to leave. Look, Rodri, it's going to be very hard for Madrid to turn that down. I think they would be stupid to turn it down.
I might have been wide in push for Enzo Fernandez.
Well, yes and no. Well, of course, Rodri and Enzo, it's no competition. I would be surprised if a man like Jose Mourinho would turn away from this one. Rodri is the dream midfielder, and if you want success, he will hand it to you on a plate. But if he arrives at Real Madrid, it will trigger the exit of either Chomeni or Camavinga. And there is talk of us and Camavinga. Now, I don't know how much time of contract he has. I'm not sure of his wages. These are the rate limiting steps for these players. Man United are thirsting over Chomeni, but I think they will find, even for them, his wages are a little bit stiff. I don't know. I really don't know. It's an interesting one. For me, I think we're coming into August now. By the end of next week, we'll be in August. I want to see some of these deals concluded. I'm not a deadline day kind of guy. I think that's always a silly ploy. You bring in a player who needs till about October, November, December to settle in, because if he's not doing preseason with you, he's needing time to get the managers tactics on board, integrate with the players. It's untidy. So I would like to see whatever we're doing to just get on with it and get it done sooner rather than later, just like we did with the Morgan Rogers deal. So to
All right, thank
answer
you.
your question, nobody knows, but Guimaraes is attractive. If he comes, I wouldn't be upset. If Adam Wharton comes, I'll probably be happier. If Alex Scott comes, I wouldn't be upset. If Kamavinga comes, there'll be some sort of excitement in me. Although I'll be wondering, is he too much of a Caicedo type of player? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see.
If Kamavinga comes and Enzo Fernandez leaves, we need one more player to have good balance.
We need
That is
a
my opinion. Yeah,
midfield creator,
yeah,
because
exactly.
to be fair to Enzo, he creates, and that's where Alex Scott comes in because he creates. I'm not sure how good Adam Wharton is at creating.
He
Um,
has it. He has good vision, good passing range,
okay,
but he's
so
not quite there yet. But yeah, he's capable. He can get there. He's equipped to
no,
get there.
we don't really want not quite there yet. We want somebody that's there, and that's where perhaps Guimaraes comes in. It'll be an interesting outcome once we do make that
I'll still
process.
take Watson. That's just me. All right. That truth says Arsenal's bid so far for Bruno Guimarães is 55 million pounds. Verbal offer, second offer, 65 million pounds, rejected by Newcastle, and now the pending offer will be 75 million package, including add-ons. Okay. 85 will do for Bruno Guimarães. All right. Manchester City midfielder Rodri will undergo surgery on a back injury, but a prognosis, I hate medical terms. A prognosis for his return is unknown. Prognosis is medical, right? Or is it an English word that I don't know? More
Yes, coach, you're
from.
doing great.
Okay, thank you. I'm proud of myself, man. But okay, thank you for that one. BJ says we will catch up soon, coach. Yeah, I hope to hear from you. Bobby is here, and it's always nice to listen to someone as experienced, as sensible as him. He's our senior panelist. But let me be honest, Bobby sometimes can also lose his shit too. He's human. But I usually stop talking with him whenever he's losing it, and I hold it off until he calms down a bit. Then we talk again, and he likes to accuse me all the time, so I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
him
because
anyway.
you mute me when
No, I
sometimes on
don't.
the
I
quiet.
don't. I never do that, Bobby.
I
You
know I
know
know
I
your
never do that.
tricks.
The accusations.
I know your
Accusation,
tricks.
Bobby. Arsenal's offer is 17 million, not 75. Okay, thank you for that information. Anything else here? Medical means possible outcome. Okay. All right, thank you. Anything else from the panelists before we check if there's anything else to talk about on our screen? This reads Adam Bates on Lacroix. He says Lacroix has emerged as a leader, becoming a vice captain at Palace. He is popular with his teammates and supporters, even going so far as to buying a drink for every supporter in row 5 at Selhurst Park. At the opening game, do we really need that aspect? I don't. All right. But that's by the way. I like the player. I like the player. I don't care whether he bought them 6-pack each in row 5. That's really specific, right there. What the heck?
Coach,
All right,
do you
Adam
have a few
Bates in.
seconds?
Sorry.
Do you have a few seconds for a quick little bit of banter in the news for Chelsea?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Chelsea signed Alejandro Garnacho for Manchester United for £43 million. Villa have now agreed, along with an obligation to sign him for £42.7 million, just £300,000 less. United, trying to be clever, held a 10% sell-on clause, but only on any profit Chelsea made. Therefore, they get nothing.
That's
Right in
actually
that
smart. It's funny, but it's smart from Chelsea. Yeah, you don't get the 10%, you only get it from the profit we make.
Yep.
That's actually smart business because it just wouldn't make sense. You're not making any profit, you just have to give United 10% of whatever you sell the player for. That is funny, but excellent business for me. Yeah, Arsenal also have Jacob Ramon. Is it Jacobo Ramon from Como, so to speak, on a list of defenders they would like to sign, but it is understood clauses in the player's contract make a deal very difficult. He's also on our list too, and I heard Arsenal were also interested in signing Maxence Lacroix, but the player wants us more importantly, and I think we're pushing. And there are no other clubs in talks with Crystal Palace, just us at this point. And the fact that they are interested in signing Axel to see some leverage for us. Yeah, some leverage for us. And United decided to make loophole deals with the loophole masters. Yeah, that's a good way. Yep, to put it. Anything important here? Chelsea have announced the signing of Harrison Bertoni, who joins the Blues from Wigan Athletic until 2030. I think he joined as a free transfer. We're not paying anything for him. I think so. Morgan Rogers, maybe this will make sense. Let's just read it. But as we news hunt, if you have anything you want to share, just like Tony did, you can always do that so we can discuss that. We're getting closer to 2 hours. I think we'll end it in 2 hours, except if anything new emerges. Morgan Rogers is one of the better athletes Blue Co have signed. In recent years, it has often seemed as if Chelsea do not appropriately value the importance of physicality and athleticism. I can't say that word. To team success in the Premier League, and Bobby will lecture them on that. With one of the more technically gifted but smaller, lighter squads in the division, they have too often found themselves bullied by less talented but bigger, stronger opponents. AKA what team? What team comes to mind? Brentford? Yeah, one of them. They've bullied us.
Newcastle.
Bobby, they're making you proud with this one, Bobby. Is Bobby there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it is that's the truth. There's nothing worse than a team in the Premier League that's weak, delicate, and easily beaten up all over the place. And that's what we were. You have a 50-50 clash. You see two players on the ground. The last one to get up is a Chelsea player if he isn't being carried off on a stretcher. No, we don't want that anymore. We need some tough guys in that team. We need some height. We need some physicality in order to then win the right to play the game. That's just how the Premier League works. And if you want to dream that it's going to change, then you just end up at the bottom of the league.
I agree. You need to be prepared. Even Pep did change the sort of players he likes to sign. He still signed technically gifted players, but you have to be physical, tall, and strong enough. So it does make sense. Yeah, so I agree. I like
Well,
that in
just
one of
look
the.
at the Man City spine from the goalkeeper to the holding midfielder to the striker. All of them, they're all giants. All of them. Whether it's Rodri, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Donnarumma, and of course Haaland. So Guardiola, the creator of Tiki Taka, he knew that the Premier League, if you don't have those guys in your team, you can't do anything.
And he
Because,
adapted really well.
oh yeah, all of them. Look at the Arsenal team. Look at Newcastle, as you've just said. All of them. You have to have the physicality in the Premier League. And I don't know why it took Chelsea so long to have that penny drop. But hopefully this season, this summer, we're trying to put that right.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. This from Sports Wire. My bro BJ says, I like that in one of the interviews, Rogers mentioned, give me a second here. Rogers mentioned that he'd like to play freely, and that is what Xavi was offering. Our players are talking like this. This makes this a potential exciting season. I think it does in so many ways. And also, who would want to play Haram football? A player as good as Morgan Rogers wouldn't want to play under what's his name, Mikel Arteta, because yeah, everybody knows he plays Haram football, and I don't think any good player would want to play under him. He said maybe if you're a defensive player. Newcastle signed Bamba today. He's a midfielder replacement, but is it for Tonali or Guimaraes? We will know soon. Yeah, there's no way to tell until one of them leaves, and yeah, we'll conclude. Yeah, oh, that signing was in fact his replacement. Anybody else on the panel for that particular topic before we continue news hunting? All right, they've done Bobby proud there. Xabi Alonso is understood to be. Here's another word I can say. I just have to take a break. All right, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm sorry. Xabi Alonso is understood to be enthusiastic about the move for Karim Alabegovic. I know it. I know it. But jokes aside, I like this kid. He's still very young. But if you watched him at the World Cup, you'd know how talented he is. And he's actually maturing. He's matured beyond his age. That's because he's played a lot of football, actually, at his age. How old is he right now? At the Begovic age, I think at most 21. Let me check. Karim Alabegovic age. Alaj Begovic age.
He's 18
Holy
years old.
crap. He's still 18.
Yeah, 18.
But isn't he mature than his age? And at the World Cup, he won in one game. He won man of the match. He's that good, and I think he was. It was Alonso that gave him his debut at Leverkusen. So if he wants him, I'm all for it. And I know the player well enough to know, yeah, he's equipped. Really, really equipped. It doesn't matter that he's 18. And it's a good thing we're mixing things up. But let's hear you, Jay. Let's sign him, really. I think we talked about him. We discussed him already, but I wouldn't mind us discussing him again. Let's sign him. He's good.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he's quite mature, quite ahead in terms of maturing for his age. And he was used by Alonso as well when he was part of the under-19 squad for Bayer Leverkusen. And he was constantly in contact and, had a relationship with Alonso
Mhm.
when he was in the academy. So the influence of, managers and people like Alonso and some other senior figures have always been on him because he has been on that trajectory for a while, uh, doing some good work. Obviously, you mentioned the World Cup as well. At the age of 18 years, getting selected for the national team, and then scoring goals that he did, and getting the man of the match, all at the age of 18. These are not normal things. Obviously, you have to be really, really talented to achieve whatever he is doing right now. Obviously, it's not. It won't be easy in the Premier League. The Premier League is one of the hardest league, and to transform whatever you have into that league is quite hard. We have seen this with the best of players. So for him, it will obviously be easy. It will take time, but then again, he's not coming here to be a starter or to be the main guy. And I think the reported
He's
fees
a
is
tough
all.
player too.
Yeah, I think his height and physicality is not that bad for a guy of 18 years old. I think he's quite decent. And obviously, with age, physicality and maturity in his body is obviously going to increase as well. So I'm not really worried about that, which is a good thing. Obviously, shout out to Bobby. The structure of his body and everything looks quite good. So I don't think that is going to be a hindrance in the Premier League. Um, and as I mentioned, he's not going to be a starter here. And for a reported fees of around 25, 30, I think the fees is also quite good. For a guy as talented as him, I think that's not a bad fee. And
If we leave
he's
it for
coming here.
another season, we'll be talking about 70 and up.
Yeah, he's just. It feels like he is, one moment away from that breakthrough at a certain big club or mediocre club. Anyway, I think he will be quite expensive if he takes the next step. And it's good that we are getting such a talented guy. And you know what? I want to differentiate it. First of all, let me complete the whole thing that I was mentioning. He's coming here as a understudy to Morgan Rogers and Palmer as well. So he's going to learn a lot from these two guys. Plays in similar role as well. Can operate in the left wing area. Obviously likes to drift inside, and more of a half space player. Takes shots outside the box as well. He's very much similar to what Morgan Rogers does in terms of profile and technicality. Just want to add that because some fans will obviously hear his age of 18 years, and the PTSD will just strike them, and I don't blame them as well. But you have to
And also,
differentiate it.
football fans do use age and experience interchangeably.
Do you know,
But
after
Yeah,
both,
Jay
exactly.
yeah.
talks, I really have something to say about this kid, if I may.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll complete it quickly. So you have to differentiate it, and I will totally understand the concerns if fans have. I have been the biggest critic. If our team goes and signs a guys like this as a priority, as a starter, it's never going to work, and it is going to be a disaster. But that is not the case. We have been seeing how we are operating in the window. There is experienced guy. There is Morgan Rogers in that place. There is Palmer in that place. So he's not going to be a starter. When you are having such a window, and then you add such youngsters, then it looks good. Then you are all in for it. Then you
A
support the
good
team.
mix
Then you support the
overall.
ownership as exactly. The mixture is important. In the last few years, we have been just doing this 18 and 20 years players, and we are leaving it for luck. And let's try it how it's going to turn out. And most often than not, and it ends up in disaster for no fault of these young players, because obviously they are on their trajectory, their natural trajectory. They are not going to suddenly become a superstar in the most toughest league in the world. It's not going to happen. So I blame the owners and the sporting directors for it. I do not blame the players for it. Same way, I do not blame Gittins and Astuau and even Quenda if they are going to struggle, because they are totally, they are totally going in the natural trajectory which a youngster should have. Just because some owners and some sporting directors bring them on the highest level, and then they struggle, and the fan criticism and everything pounds on them, and then they collapse. This is not their fault. But I'm not worried this time, because as I mentioned, there is Morgan Rogers as well. So the mixture of all these things is important. I'm all in for this guy. I think he can be a really good backup to our tens. And who knows, in 1 or 2 seasons, maybe he could be a real competition for the main players.
You never know. Bobby, just give me a few seconds here, please. He played in the Australian League. Okay, thank you for that information. Let's not forget Salzburg is where Haaland came from. Yeah, it's important. Just talent, more importantly, not necessarily where we're signing the player from. Thank you for that information, Dominic, Maximilian, and Nature. I appreciate you. Let's see. I think it's time to let Enzo go and probably replace him with Bruno. He easily gets emotional and ruins his gaming during important matches. That's Robin Kikbemoy. Robin, thank you for hesitating. The question is, we have to have an interested buyers. We have to have interested buyers before letting him go. He won't leave because we want him to go. If there aren't suitors, he stays. Simon Phillips reports that Arsenal all set to make a 17 million bid for Bruno Guimarães from Newcastle. More to come. Okay, we wait. Thank you for that information. Bobby, over to you. You wanted to add to what Jay said about what's his name? What's his name again? The kid?
Bruno something, isn't it?
No. We're talking about Karim
Kareem.
Alabegovic.
Oh yeah, yeah, the Serbian kid. Look, when I saw little, I didn't know anything about this kid, so I went to watch some videos about him. And although videos aren't a yardstick, you need to watch them properly. It suddenly came to mind two players, and the fact that, you see, this is why knowing your history understanding the workings of the club is so important, and why, perhaps in another conversation, I'm so glad to see that Alonso seems to be working with some of our youngsters. He took along, he seems to be taking Landon Emanalo very much under his wing, and he's a very promising kid, the kid of Michael, our former sporting director. But that aside, I look at this kid, and what comes to my mind is, look, if we can look at our history and see what happened with two of perhaps of our greatest, arguably amongst our greatest midfielders, and they started off as offensive midfielders. Mikel was offensive. Mourinho came, dropped him back as an understudy to Makaleli, and the rest is history. He still had that ball playing ability, the passing ability, ball winning ability, and his physicality was massive for Chelsea back then. Nemanja Matic is the one that really he reminds me of, and I think he was from Serbia as well. And I actually met Nemanja Matic when he was really young,
I
and
think
his
he's from
first
Bosnia.
Bosnia. Okay, okay. I'm sure that would offend one of them from the Balkans there, because they've got their thing going on. And if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. It was an innocent mistake. I forgot he was from Bosnia. But that aside,
Bobby, these things happen. You're not an encyclopedia, are you?
well, you know what fans are like. But that aside, I actually met him when he first came to Chelsea. One scrawny kid, lanky, thin, and we didn't have faith. And I think we sold him off to some club, and he eventually ended up in Benfica. And in Benfica, they beefed him up. He added some weight. He grew again a bit more, added some muscle, and I think he played against us in the Europa League final. I think he did, yeah, and he showed his worth. And so we brought him back, and the rest is history. I see these kind of kids as that kind of player. We have to. I had a tinge of excitement when I saw that. Oh, Xavi likes him. He's shown his form in play representing his country. I don't know where he is now, but I really see the sense in it. If he comes, just as Jay said, he's not coming to be a starter, but he's coming to be blooded in. And if we can keep this sort of player in the squad, continue to nurture him through, that's going to add a lot to this team. Especially if, look, we don't want to be playing more than one season outside of Europe, that's for sure. And going forward, we're going to have a full complement of squad to be able to deal with the challenges that lie ahead. So yeah, I'm all for it. If we're looking at this kid, then go for it.
All right. Vic, what are you saying there? Elaborate, don't tease us. I'm not showing. He says Maxence Lacroix, check mark, and thumbs up. So, what are you saying, Vic? Full update, or don't talk to us. All right, let me see. Anybody else on the panel want to talk more about this kid, Karim? The guy, yeah, he's a winger and can also operate as one of the two tens. He's fully equipped to do that. I just want to see a lot more in terms of him creating for his teammates, but he can shoot with both feet effectively. Lacroix will be announced anytime from now. Here we go soon. The truth also. And Vic, okay, that's a good sign. I don't trust Vic, so I trust that truth even more. Chelsea closing in on a deal to sign Lacroix. Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish have been involved in negotiations, and the overall package is expected to be higher than Jean-Paul Van Heeke's 52 million move. Wow. Sources Ben Jacobs. Should I trust Ben Jacobs these days? But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think one of the things that's setting a lot of this off about Lacroix is about roughly 5 minutes ago, while the panel was talking, Fabrizio put, just a post out like he does with the little eyeball watching emoji and a French flag, and
Dang it, he does know how to milk the heck
Oh,
out
I
of
know.
every.
He's becoming the ultimate influencer. But yeah, he reposted his post from yesterday about Lacroix, and he put little eyeballs there, and so usually when he does that, I think he has a good feeling that here we go is coming soon. So that's probably
Has
why
Ornstein said anything?
I haven't seen anything from Ornstein, but let's see. Warney, what do
No,
you
I think
got?
if he said anything, I think we'd hear from those. Vic likes Onston. If Onston said anything,
Well, that's the
Vic will
one,
let
isn't
us
it?
know. I mean, both are. Both
Yeah,
are. Fabrizio
Ornstein's
hardly ever
got
gets
the
it
slight
wrong.
edge, but yeah.
The difference is that you could argue Onston reports cautiously, bearing in mind that there's a chance a deal will end up not going through.
Right.
But in Fabrizio's case, I've seen him say, "Here we go," and the deal in question ends up not happening. That doesn't necessarily mean he misinformed people. He was going by the information he had at hand, and then with the belief that that he will eventually go through. And so people must know that "here we go" doesn't necessarily mean definitely it's gonna happen. But go ahead with what you were saying, Tony. Sorry.
No, that was it. He just put that emoji up, and I feel like typically when he does that, that's his precursor to "here we go." So he must think it's pretty close. And we've known for a couple days now everything is set. It's just the final terms for the fee, and I mean the player wants it. So as long as Palace and I think they did. Forgive me. It's all the news starts to blur together after a while, but. I think Palace found a defender replacement already, so they're just trying to iron out the final terms of the fee. So for Fabrizio to do that, he must have gotten word that he knows he can probably put it "here we go" out soon, and I think that's why the chatter is starting to increase. We may see that tonight or in the morning, but I mean it's close. It would have to. There'd have to be a catastrophic breakdown for that not to happen now, I would think. But, we'll see. I'm just going to tell you, he just put that out. And as soon as I saw that, I saw the chatter about Lacroix start to increase. So people are getting word about something. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. The overall package is expected to be north of £55 million. Chelsea have offered Palace the chance to sign a number of players, including Axel Disasi. I hope Disasi goes there. If he stays and continue being peaky, he will find himself in the bomb squad again. Anybody else on the panel want to add to that? Okay, I'm guessing no. Alejandro Garnacho, I'm not reading that again. That was yesterday. So I'm going to refresh this to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. And if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. You know the rules. Just do not ask any serious questions or difficult questions. If you do, we'll pretend we cannot see it. So I'm going to refresh this then to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. So let's see how soon it takes. All right, Vic is here. Vic says, I think they're all responding to the scoop from who? CPF, Sky Sports News understands Palace are seeking more than the £55 million Tottenham paid for Jean-Paul Van Heeke from Brighton to sanction Lacroix's sale. The market, everybody paying attention to the price of a particular player to know how to price theirs. Difference between Onston and Fab: one is a freelancer and the other is employed. And I think it'd be accurate to say the freelancer makes a lot more because it's more like, you could say, an influencer, but the other one doesn't make as much, and that's an opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I argue that Fabrizio probably makes a lot more because he's more like an influencer. A lot of sponsorship deals and everything. They're all connected. I respect them both, and I've said Fab milks it the heck out of it. He could just tweet a pencil and paper with blue, and blue could mean Leicester City, Chelsea, or any club wearing blue, and people would be dying to know more than they start retweeting it. But yeah, anybody else on the panel with any other thing to add to that? So I've refreshed. Let's see if anything new emerged. Okay, some speculations with regards to the structure used in that friendly that we won. And if you have any questions, go ahead, drop it. We'll be rounding up soon. If there's no question, but we'll still one last time breeze through Vince's timeline to see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. The Truth has a question, guys. What are the ideal signings? Let's see. Ideal signings that you guys want this window to guarantee a title challenge, since we are playing one game a week. Jay, I'm going to start with you. Jay, you there, or should
Um,
I? Okay, there you go.
yeah. Look, first of all, a title challenge in this upcoming season, it's not that hard for Chelsea, for Chelsea's case, right? And there are a lot of equations why I say this. And in any particular, other season with Champions League football, it would be hard, as it's hard for any other team in the European competitions. But for Chelsea in this coming season, I think it would be relatively easy, and that obviously depends a lot on the transfer window. But the way we are moving in this transfer window, and then the season we have, I think the combination of those two factors can easily, easily give you the assurance that at least we can go for a title challenge. How long that will last, in which month we will, fall off the cliff, which happens with us a lot during November and December period around Christmas. But I think this time we can go far. Uh, I have to mention the absence of European football. We have very limited games as well. So these are big factors. We literally saw Manchester United jump from 15th to third position uh, by the lack of European football in the next season. So I'm not saying exactly that will happen. Obviously, a lot of other things needs to fall in place, but I think that makes our case a bit more easy. There are I think eight or nine, nine exactly to be precise, nine teams in Europe next season from the Premier League only. So obviously they are going to fight for a lot of things, and they are going to have games while we will be resting. So that makes our pathway a bit more easy in terms of competing with the surrounding teams, which is obviously going to help us as well if we are going to play them. So that is also something that is going to help. Now there are a lot of teams, and especially from the big six, there are five clubs with a new manager apart from Arsenal and Arteta. Almost everyone has a new manager. United also, you can say, because Carrick was not permanent last season. So even that is going to give you a lot of opportunities. There is no Pep Guardiola, a very big factor. So the title challenge is open to anyone because the big guy is not here anymore. So these are the factors from the league, which gives me confidence that title challenge is very much open, especially with the lack of European football. Now going into the transfer, I think we are doing quite well. A lot of the deals are actually quite promising. Obviously, Palestra is quite young, but then he's very promising. He has done it at the highest level in the CIA. He was defender of the year there as well, and he suits the type of football that Xabi Alonso wants to play as well. So other signings like Lacroix, hopefully we get it done now. Is going to bring in the experience in leadership, a partnership of Colvin and Maxence Lacroix gives me a lot of confidence that our defense is going to be much, much, much better than what we saw last season. We got good fullbacks as well. If you ask me, if going to your question, if you ask me that one signing, then I will just repeat the thing that I said a few minutes back, and that is Bruno Guimarães in the midfield. I think midfield is the only area where we need perfection in terms of partnership with Caicedo, and I think Bruno G is the one who offers us a lot of defensive shield, which also allows Caicedo to go for more of his natural game which is as a 8 or a box to box. In my personal opinion, I think he thrives in that role. He's very good at passing and breaking the lines. He can produce those passes in the final third as well, which can offer our attackers the opportunity to make a direct attack as well. So I think Caicedo will be more free with Bruno Guimarães. So if you ask me that one guy, that one signing, including all the factors that I mentioned, then that would be Bruno G. I think if we get Bruno G with the other signings that we have been linked with, I think I would be pretty confident that we can make a serious title challenge.
Coach, are you muted?
Tony, you're good. Go ahead, speak. Go ahead.
I lost you. I couldn't hear a word you said.
Okay. Do you want me to read the question for you?
Yeah. Go for
All
it.
right. It's a question from the Truth, which says, guys, what are the ideal signings that you guys want at this window to guarantee a title challenge since we are playing one game a week? I'd say, just quickly, we're pretty close. But let's hear you, Jay. Let's hear you, Tony, so to speak.
Just like my ideal signings that are left, pretty much, that I'd like to see come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll start from the back per usual. I'd like to see Diogo Costa, but I don't know that that's going to happen this window since I'm starting with goalkeeper. So, but I think the general consensus is everybody seems to think that Penders will probably start with Sanchez, but I think the general consensus is that Penders is going to overtake him as the year goes on. We'll see. But the back four, just get Maxence, and if you need more depth because you're getting rid of so many CBs, I'm okay with free for John Stones. That's fine if he's a backup. That's experience that we need, back there. And if nothing else, a voice on the sideline and in the changing room. So, yeah, well, I think, we looked at, what's his name? Who's the guy from Rayo Vallecano? Forgot his last name.
We're still on it. Pep Chavarría.
Yeah, we might be walking away from that one because they just keep moving the goalposts because they're like, oh, and if anything, they're not going to back down now because they just saw how much we dropped on Roger, so we might have to move away. So I'm still, I guess Hato will be the starting left back, but I'm still slightly concerned about left back depth. I don't know if we're going to use, maybe we use, oh, dude, what is wrong with my brain? The Argentine kid with the red hair. Maybe we use him.
Barco?
Yeah, maybe we use him as a backup for Hato, and maybe we're square on the left. I'm not quite sure about the left back situation yet. Hato started to kick on, but it just seems like we have a little bit more robustness on the right side than we do on the left. But I don't know. I don't know if Gusto goes this window or not. He might. So I don't know how I feel about the wing backs. Apparently, a lot of people think we could use Quinta there. For me, the thing that's most up in the air, because everybody keeps talking about midfield. We were talking about that versatile forward until we got Rodgers. But still, everybody's talking about center back. That's the most important. Midfield, and for me, we have Palestra, great, but I just don't know how the wingback situation is going to pan out, and I don't know who I want there because, and I feel like more people will probably be talking about this as the window goes on, because you could think about the right back, and we have Palestra, but I don't know that, or right wing back, whatever system we're running. I don't know that Reece James has the hamstrings to do that anymore. I think we're expecting to see him as right center back or in the midfield. So if Gusto goes, what is that? Just Palestra and hope and pray Reece James' hamstrings don't explode. You know what I mean? And then on the left side, we have Hato. He just started to kick on at the end of last season. It looked good, but I think we need to see more. We don't know about how Barco's going to do for us there. So for me, those two positions are really up in the air, and I just don't know. I don't even know. It really depends on who goes, and then I think you could see a domino effect there, and we really need to see how they do in preseason. But you could see a move for more wingbacks toward the end of the window. Another wingback, toward the end of the window. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that yet. Midfield, I want Wharton, but I'll take Guimaraes. But my top target would be Wharton. I think we're good in the front. And it's funny you asked me, because the only other question I had for the panel, if you want to ask anyone else, I just wanted to know opinions. As far as striker goes, we haven't really seen Omega for us yet that much. He scored in both games, but and you can answer this however you want. Do you want this, or do you just think this will happen? But I want to know what the panel thinks. Who do we think the primary backup for? Because it looks like Jackson's going to go to Villa, right? So if he does, who do we think the primary backup for João Pedro is going to be? Is it going to be Omega, or is it going to be Delap? And trust me, after what I've seen, I'll take my chances on Omega, but I'm just not hearing anything about Delap going, and honestly, that concerns me because I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I would have rather seen him leave before. Everybody's so stoked about Garnacho going. I would have rather seen Delap leave before I saw Garnacho leave, and I'm not a fan of Garnacho either, but that's how much I just want Delap gone, and I'm not hearing anything about it. But what do you guys think? Who do you guys think will be João Pedro's backup striker? And I know that Rodgers can play as a false 9 too. Let's not forget that. But who do you think the backup out-and-out striker will be, or who do you want it to be?
Right. As for me, I hate to use the term backup because essentially you're saying, that next player, the player in question.
Competition for.
Yeah. I'd say Emera. I don't. If we're keeping the lab, I don't think he'd been necessarily a backup or maybe a competition for João Pedro because they're different. They're of different profiles. He's more of a traditional number 9, whereas João Pedro is more of a hybrid number 9. So if you really want someone to compete for that position, to compete with João Pedro for that position, it'd be Emera, capable of dropping deep, participating and play, creating for his teammates. He's really good at doing that. His hold-up play is also excellent, and he brings height, pace. As big as Delap is, it's not that good aerially. Maybe it's something that eventually he'd become good at. And his overall ball-playing ability, his hold-up play is good, but it just wouldn't make sense for him to stay. I think he's going to get frustrated. That's just an opinion. But Dante seems to believe that he's actually the type of that Alonso usually does like that type of number 9. I wouldn't mind the Emera, João Pedro, even with Jackson, the three of them, but it seems like Jackson will eventually leave, which you could mean that Delap stays. And then after the season, we'll see who's the least happy of the three of them and move them on. But that's, by the way, coming to the question on the signings I'd like to see the club make to ensure we compete for the title come 26-27 season. I'd go mainly with the manager's choices. perceived choices. I wouldn't mind Pep Chavarria, but Raul would be an excellent signing too for that position. I wouldn't mind Guimaraes or Watton, and John Stones, and that's just me. I think we're pretty close actually. We've done some good business, and the fact that Lacroix is joining, I wouldn't mind John Stones or even Jacobo Ramon from Como. So we're pretty close. Just we just have to be strategic and not miss it. But if we can be strategic and pay attention to what we really need, yeah, Araujo or Pep Chavarria, I wouldn't mind Watson, but I'd go for what's his name? I'd go for Guimaraes first, given his experience. But that's my opinion. Bobby, let's hear you. Two questions for you. One from Tony with regards to the attacking area. Who would you rather the club let go? I know probably your preference would be to keep the lap because you think the injuries he had during the course of the last season didn't help. You believe he's got it in him. But I'm seeing things. I differ from Dante. I differ with Dante in that aspect. I don't think he's really a good fit for Xabi Alonso. Again, that's me. And who's to say, even if he isn't, the manager wouldn't mind tweaking things to accommodate him if he believes he has the potential to help us do well. But Bobby, let's hear you. Two questions. If you want me to go through both again, I will.
Yes. What were they?
One
Because
from
you've been
Tony. One from
yes,
Tony. Which of the
about
strikers
the
would you like us
strikers,
to
yeah.
keep? Yeah.
And the second one.
The second one, the signings you think we should make to ensure we're ready to compete for the title.
Okay. First of all, I'll go to the signings. Um, I'm very, very keen on the completion of Lacroix. I know that we will definitely need to do something about the left side, left hands, left back position. Cucurella has left a massive hole. Hato is plausible there, but there needs to be either rotation or backup or something additional on the left hand side. We've toyed with that for a long time. Cucurella got us out of jail too much because he was always fit. But and Of course, when Hato came, he needed time to settle. So we do need to bring somebody else, whether it's Chavarria, which looks unlikely. Araujo, well, Araujo want to be a bit more of a starter. So we need to just find somebody that can dovetail it with Hato. Then this so-called bomber in midfield. For me, if I had my way, it would be Adam Wharton. I would find Guimaraes more than acceptable, but I don't really know what's going on there. Arsenal have bid twice. I'm not sure they won't go and bid a third time. Who knows? That's for the strikers. I can see a situation where Alonso will keep Omega along with João Pedro as the main strikers, but he will also keep Delap. I'm with Dante on this one. I don't think we've seen all of Delap. I think Delap is a slow burner, and there's a lot more to come from him. I'm not in this school of thought that you just have to have two strikers. I think that's bad. Chelsea Football Club has never had, in the past 20, 25 years, we've never had just two strikers. Even in the days where we had people at the peak of their powers like Anelka and Drogba, we had Solomon Kalou as well. So, yes, you can say we were playing regularly in the Champions League, but I don't look at this season as our future. I think this season is the stepping stone to getting back into regular Champions League football. That's what we should be aiming for. So any player that is not regularly used this season should put in their best performance to ensure that the team does get back into Champions League so that there's more expansive opportunities for them. That's just how I see it. Whether that's going to pan out that way, I don't know. You can't ignore the Jackson factor, but the way things are going looks very much as if Jackson will be sold to Villa.
All right, thank you so much for that. Jay, did you answer Tony's question?
No, not really.
Yeah, but go ahead. Let's hear you.
Um, Striker. Look, obviously, João Pedro is going to be the undisputed number one and is going to play most of the minutes as a starter, hopefully, barring any major injuries. So he will be there. And any other striker, I think, is going to be a more of a bench option. Obviously, he's going to get his minutes in the cup games. Uh, Look, I have discussed this prior as well that my ideal second striker would be from the available option would be Jackson for sure. Because I do not trust Emega because he's quite young. He's coming to a new league. Obviously, again, he's not there. I think he lacks the development and expecting him to come and contribute and be a proper second striker, which also means that as a second striker from the bench, you need to contribute as well. In the cup games, you need to take your chances as well. So I don't see him being ready to that duty right now. Again, I could be wrong. He's scoring goals in the games that we are hearing, but again, I have my doubts over him. Um, and even people have mentioned his physicality, his height, and all, but I still think that he is injury prone as well. So, and in the Premier League, especially, you are really exposed to your injuries. So, not even sure about that. Delab, for me, is just not a good player. He's just not complete as a striker, and he is a very system specific player or system specific striker, and he will suit very particular system, especially where you get a lot of spaces, where you sit as a whole team and then you hit the opponents on the counter. He's that type of a striker for me, and that type of football or that type of style he's not going to get at a big club. Such a style is mostly employed by mid-table or lower-table clubs. So for me, he is never the answer. Uh, so that is why I say that Jackson would be my ideal choice. He's a multi-positional striker, positional player as well. He can play as a striker. He can also play on the left wing or as a left half space player as well. He's got massive link up abilities as well. He's got that relationship with Cole Palmer as well, and I think he can do a lot of the actions and can be very much useful. Obviously, he has his struggles in front of the goal. As a obviously the number of big chances that he missed in front of the goals is remarkable. And despite that, his numbers are quite good in the first two seasons that he played for Chelsea. I think he got 15 goals in the first season and around 10 or 11 in the second. And his assist tally is obviously quite good as well because of his ability to link up and come down the pitch and contribute. So for me, undoubtedly, Nicholas Jackson was the answer. But then again, I also understand that you need to sell a few of them, and obviously you are going to favor the guy that has the highest financial market value. And Nicholas Jackson is the one who's going to fetch you around 65 million. And I think that makes the decision quite easy for the owners and the sporting directors to let him go more than any other guy. So I would be content because we don't have enough games in the coming season. I would be fine with Emega if he shows some season.
Are you there, Jay? Looks like we lost him. Okay. It looks like we lost him. And if you guys on the panel you haven't heard, I don't think this will make Bobby happy. I'm not sure how tall Carlos Baliba is. But this news has said Chelsea are big admirers of Carlos Baliba and have him on a consideration list for the summer. No approaches or advances yet, but just another midfielder on the list that they really like. I don't think we'll sign him. Bobby becomes happy and they find a way to ruin it for him. And one more like to get to 60 likes. We haven't hit 100 like for a while now, but I think we'll be rounding off soon. Anybody want to comment on the Baliba news? Otherwise, I think we should just call it a day. Nothing new has emerged. If there's any need for us to stream later in the day, I think we're going to do it. All right. Okay. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Can you guys still hear me? I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see difference between Austin and Fab. We've read that. We've also addressed this. That was the question we're addressing. This is from okay, Andre. I'm guessing Chelsea must buy midfielder Alex Scott and Adam Watson, a young player, and no Guimaraes, old player. Chelsea must okay, Nico Williams, and one more Julian Alvarez. Chelsea is the best, the top champions. Okay, thank you for that. And you can actually add a lot more. You have plenty of space to add a lot more names to the list you just mentioned. The last time we won the league was with Conte, 1 game a week after finishing 10th with Mourinho. This is why I am optimistic. Okay, that also reflects the fact that you are superstitious too. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but have we been hearing good things about Emanalo? A lot of people say that. I don't know him and I have never seen him play. 2 matches behind closed doors seems to have impressed Xavi. Possibly, but I think I'll go with what Dante said a few days ago. We have a lot of the academy kids training with the first team because we need numbers. That's just an opinion. If Enzo goes, then who is suitable for his position as assistant captain? I will give it to Levi Colwell. I will give it to him. But assistant captain, I think, automatically goes to Moses Caicedo, and then Levi Colwell will enter that, will be the third in line, I think. But let's see what happens. Yeah, Maxi Araujo, he's a player I like. London is good. London is good, but I love you mean Shim Ngoka. I am sure I butchered his name. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Ben Jacobs tweet, Lacroix is done. He's saying it's done? Okay, good. Shim was Chelsea's under 18 striker. I watched him last season. He scored over 18 goals, better than Delap. Delap is a joke. Shim had, you can say, good opportunities. He had good opportunities under Maresca, I think. But it looks like he's not quite ready to step up a bit. It's different for every player. Some players, once they get such an opportunity, they take it. But he didn't quite take it. He seemed out of place, struggled a bit. That happens. It's a shame Lewis Hall said he ain't coming back down to coming back to London. Big up to you too, my spiritual advisor and my bro, the Blue Tiffle Game. Always nice to see you out there. Hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to stop by and say hello. That shows that you've been listening. Actually, Shumaira Shim Ngeoka, that's his name. If we have not already sold him. No, I think last time we discussed him, the topic was on about the club planning a loan for him. Yeah. The truth says if Arsenal are delaying the bid, Chelsea could use Nico Jackson as a sweetener since Newcastle were keen on him last season, and that could give us an opportunity to get Bruno Guimarães. But the problem is Nicholas Jackson, we've heard, would prefer to work under his former manager in Unai Emery, unfortunately for us. So, Tony, anything else? It seemed like it's just you and I at this point. Jay is disconnected. Bobby is disconnected. But, Tony, anything else before we call it a day?
No, it's... Ben Jacobs isn't saying it's done yet. He's just saying we're closing in. It's just the same. When you don't have anything to report, these guys just kind of reword the same stuff we've already heard until it happens. So, yeah.
All right.
What is this from Fabrizio real quick? I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's the video. All right. Yeah. No, that's it.
All right, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to the panelists. My bro Tony is back, made it very interesting as usual. We have our senior panelist on the panel here in Bobby. I appreciate you. I hope Constantine Dante is okay. Much love to him. I hope everything is all right on his end. And Truth, thank you so much for all the delicious comments from you. Sincerely do appreciate that. And Heromo, thank you for also joining. And Blue. Beautiful game. Always nice to have you in the chat. I appreciate you. My enemy Vic was also here, and Hero, I've said hello to you. Esteban William, aka what's his Yoruba name? But much love to you. I can't quite remember your Yoruba name, and if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
The stand, I carry that crest in my hand, rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end, we rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the badge says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the whole. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Yeah. Ooh. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, we rise again, we rise again. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know we don't chase a moment, we are the hope. Hands up high, voice up loud, same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stay, even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold, we were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play